Hello folks, JD here, and today we're looking at part 2 of the beginner guide set of quadcopter videos. So let's just recap slightly. If you haven't seen part 1, you'll find it in the description under the beginner guide playlists. Now in part 1 we talked about the 3 different types of quadcopters, be it altitude hold, non-altitude hold and GPS type of quadcopters, and what those different movement styles are like. In this particular video we're going to look at picking a place to fly, so flying legally and flying in a field where there is, or in a place where there are no people and you're away from buildings. So in order for you to do that, you have to know that there is something out there called the drone code. So at the moment, at the time of me recording this, before the proper laws and legislation in November 2019 in the UK have come in, these are a set of guidelines that actually tell you how to fly and how to fly within the law. So these guidelines are as follows. So as long as you stick to these, you shouldn't have a problem. The reason that we've had so many issues with people coming down quite hard on the drone hobbyists and the drone hobby as a whole is quite simply because a lot of people have not been adhering to this. They've been flying around houses, they've been flying around people, there have been accidents, and you all know what's happened around the airports. I haven't got to make a video on that. I haven't got to tell you, because you can see that with your own eyes. Now, when it comes to picking a field, what I do is there are a couple of apps out there that I use to help me pick the particular place that I want to fly. Let me show you some of those apps. So this app is called Nat's Drone Assist, and there are lots of different apps out there for you to use. This is the one that I choose to use myself. Now, here will show you where you can and where you can't fly, and it'll show you all your no-fly zones as well as your fly zones, as well as ground hazards as well. So you can see that I live in Bristol, and you can see there's a massive red circle right there, which means that inside there is a no-fly zone, because that's where our airport is. So recently, because of everything that's happened with Gatwick and everything that, well, with that drone that didn't materialise, there has been a further law put together so that there's no flying. I think it's within 6 miles of an airport, 5 miles of an airport, I think. So now there's a blanket on that, so that's how you can see this particular red circle. But if you scroll over to where I am, there is quite literally nothing there. So we are clear to fly in these particular areas here. Now you can see ground hazards just by, and if you zoom into a particular area, then if there are any ground hazards, then they will come up like that. You've got a picture of a pylon, so it shows you that you have pylons there, so there is no flying near pylons. This is a very good app to have. It's a free app to have. You will find that as your flying increases, that this particular app is very, very good, especially if you're like me and you like to take your quadcopters to different parts of the UK, like when I go back home or anything like that, I like to take some with me. So this actually gives you a good overview. Now, as well as you being able to fly and not able to fly, obviously you have restricted types of air, which mean that either the airspace is being used for low-flying aircrafts, like helicopters, police helicopters, low-flying airplanes, or it's restricted for the military. So I know a lot down by Salisbury and Salisbury Plain, there's a huge no-fly zone down there where it's all part of military and military training manoeuvres, so you won't be able to fly around there. But using an app like that, it can actually show you where those no-fly zones are, so you can actually fly within within the letter of the law. Now, as well as that, you've got to look for other obstructions, such as trees. They can get in the way. A quadcopter can just graze a branch, and before you know it, the quadcopter is going all over the place. So it's very, very important that you fly in a place where you feel safe and within the letter of the law. You shouldn't fly near houses. As we saw at the first part of this particular video, there should be a good distance between you and a house, and the same as you and a person as well. Now, where I fly in the field, it's a public field. People come in there to walk their dogs. No doubt, in some of my flight videos, you would have heard me say, right folks, there's a guy coming towards me, I'm going to down my craft. And as soon as I see somebody, or see a dog or hear something, I down my quad or my aeroplane or my quad or my helicopter and wait until they are well away and off the field. Then I'll do a cursory look again, and then I will take the quadcopter up and I will fly her. Now, picking the correct field for you is very, very important. Don't forget, these particular quads, even the cheap ones, can have a reach of 100 to 200 meters. So you want to be able to have an area which is big enough where you can fly safely and you can fly without any obstructions. Once you've picked your field, have a little look on the NATs, or have a look at whatever other application you're using. For me, it's NATs. On side there, then you will see where you can and can't fly, and you can fly happily. Obviously, you want to know as well whether your particular airspace is going to be used for emergency aircraft. Like, say, if somebody has a trip and a fall in a field, are you going to have a helicopter flying in? So these things you've always got to be very wary of as well. Normally, picking a field is extremely simple. My rule of thumb is no wires, no pylons, trees to the side. If you've got a tree in front of you, just be aware that it's there. I'm not saying don't fly around trees. They can actually make very, very good obstacles for you to learn how to corner around properly. And spatial awareness, I found that really helpful. Now, once you've done that, if it is private property, apply for access. So use whatever council, whatever farmer, and have a little chat with them. I've done that a few times around here, and if you explain to people what it is you're doing, you're not filming them, you're not encroaching on their privacy, you're just wanting to fly your quadcopter. 9 out of 10 times, they may be actually quite gracious about it and say, yeah, feel free, fella. And then if they see you, they'll just toff their cap, and you can before too long pick up a nice little friend there, and so it doesn't hurt. If you do fly in a public area, be wary of people, and obviously have the drone code in the back of your mind as well. All right then, my friends, I hope this has been of some help. If you've got any questions, hit me up in the comments. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening, my friends. I shall see you on the next instalment of Beginner's Guide. Take care and happy RCing.